Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Sherry Moyes here. I'm excited to be with you here today to talk about how to work with the dreaded Mercury retrograde to actually use it to leverage and amplify the results in your business. So if we have not connected as of late, I am your intuitive business mentor. My intention is to help you to make sure that you are nourished and thriving in your business and that you know how to leverage one of the most powerful tools out there that we have to guide us in our business, which is astrology. The natural rhythms and cycles of the cosmos impact both ourselves and our potential soul clients, that collective energy. And when we work with that energy, we can make faster strides in our business and life. So let's dive in today to Mercury retrograde. Now, this is one of those things that if you don't know much about astrology, this is one transit that you probably have heard a little bit about. Am I right? Let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay here, if what your thoughts are on Mercury retrograde. I know typically what we hear all the time is that Mercury retrograde, this is when, all tech goes crazy, things break, make sure you back up your computer. And yes, depending on who you are and where it's falling in your chart, those are never bad things to do. But there's a bigger opportunity, especially for you in your business, to actually leverage this energy and use it to your advantage to help move your business forward. So quick little history lesson or actually just education on what is Mercury. What does it mean for it to go retrograde? Mercury is the planet that helps us to navigate our communication, our mindset. It is how we process information and knowledge. And all communications. Thus the reason that tech gets thrown into the mix. So we can have little tech snafus, sometimes bigger snafus. Communication can be off between people, etc. And Mercury cycles occasionally, usually 3 to 4 times a year. It will appear to move backwards in the sky. It just means that the planet has slowed down to a point where from our vantage point on Earth, it appears like it's moving backwards. It isn't really moving backwards. It's just slowed down so that we have that effect. And anytime a planet moves backwards, or appears to be moving backwards, the energy shifts to be internal. So we're in a review period. Now, there's a caveat here for those of you that have Mercury natally retrograde in your chart. I'm going to talk about that because some of this is going to feel and look a little bit different. If that is your natural state of being, you were born when Mercury was retrograde, it's going to feel different than those of us who it was direct. And the majority of people have it direct, about 30 or so percent, because it retrogrades 3 times a year, are going to have it natally retrograde. So aside from being, tech snafus and things like that, because it's focused on communication, we can leverage this energy in a lot of beautiful ways. So I want to give you my 3 keys for working with this energy. And first, I'm going to talk about it from the perspective, and this actually works whether you have it retrograde or not. These are still important pieces. Number 1, though, we got to get off the table right away, is that we got to ditch the fear. Because if we're in fear that we can't do anything and we just need to bury our head in the sand, it's going to be a long 3 weeks. Mercury retrograde for this cycle begins next Wednesday. At the time of this video, that'll be August 23rd, and it lasts for 3 weeks. We're in what they call the pre-shadow period. So I want you to kind of notice what's been going on with communications in your world up until now. I've noticed some interesting little techie things, some interesting, nothing major, but little snafus, things that aren't exactly working great. Sometimes I'm not affected at all by that. This time I'm noticing. So just pay attention. But staying out of the fear, because any of these energies have something to teach us and something for us to work with. So we got to ditch the fear and move forward so we can use these transits to our benefit. So we are just coming we're at the end of Leo season. Mercury is in Virgo. Virgo is about systems and structures and the everyday work that we do. And this is the lens within which this Mercury retrograde is going to be guiding us. Last time it was Taurus. This time it's Virgo. Still this earth energy. So it's grounded, it's practical. It wants us to be looking at those systems and structures in our life and our business, our day-to-day, what's working, what isn't. And so that's key number 2 is know where Mercury is retrograding, because that's going to give you the lens within which to work with. And from a business owner's perspective, from an entrepreneurial perspective, your systems and structures and those foundations are so important. And knowing how that is working for you, how your everyday is flowing, what you want to keep, what you don't, is a powerful exploration to do. The sun is going to go into Virgo as well at the same time. So we're going to have a big lens on this for the next 3+ weeks on this part of your chart and on this part collectively. That's the other piece of this. You can look in your own natal chart to know transit chart, where this transit is happening for you. What house will give you even another layer of how to work with that energy. So, but we want to be playing with these Virgo themes. We want to be looking at them and saying, okay, what is it that needs to be reviewed? Like for myself, for example, I am looking at the structures of my content creation. This is happening in my 5th house of creation. And what I create for myself, that I then put out in the world, what inspires me. And so I'm literally road mapping, very Mercury kind of thing, like where everything is flowing and what I'm working with, so that I have a roadmap and a system and structure that really feels good. And so I'm being really intentional with this energy. I've also got a project that I put off till Mercury retrograde because I figured it would be the best time to get the structure of it put together. So where is it for you? What is it? If you don't know your house, you can always pop that into one of the online tools, and there's a lot of just AstroSeek, astro.com, where you can find where it is in your own chart. Number 3, the third way you can really work with this energy is to make a decision. Decide where you want to put your focus and attention so that you're guiding the exploration versus having it guide you. And that's what can end up happening. And that's why the pop culture finds this thing like it's it takes over. It's just bury your head in the sand. I say, no, what's true about that? Step up and make a decision about what you want to review, what you want to focus on during the next few weeks that would really be of a benefit to you and your business. Now, I want to get around to those of you that have it retrograde natally in your chart and talk about how you can really leverage this energy for you, because this is your normal way of thinking, communicating. Retrograde is what you were born under. This is actually a power period for you. Your thinking is going to feel really clear. It's going to feel really on point. You're going to be able to move the meter very quickly. Whereas the rest of us, it's very internal. I'm getting curious. I'm looking at it. I'm evaluating it, but I'm probably not going to be able to action much of it until Mercury goes direct. Where for you, all the things you've been noodling up until now, all the things you've been playing with, now you get to take them and move them forward in a powerful way. So knowing this for yourself is really, really important. So get out there. I've got, a number of clients, because it's about 1/3 of the population, who have Mercury natally retrograde. I was talking to one yesterday, and we were talking about what was she going to focus on, because she's starting to get clearer in her thinking, in what she wants to be focused on, and what are those systems and structures. Again, with the lens of Virgo this time, that's where we're focused. And I'll put those themes, those Virgo themes, in the comments so that you can grab those and start to think about those. And I'll also give you, for those of you that want to look at your own chart, you can do that as well, just to see where it's at. And then feel free to come back in and pop in a question and ask, based on it's in this house, what might I be looking at? And I'd be happy to share that. So let me recap. I believe that astrology is a beautiful, beautiful guide. It is when we work with these cycles, and these Mercury retrograde cycles happen, like I said, 3 to 4 times a year. So you don't want to be not doing for 12 weeks out of the year. That would be crazy. But you can work with that energy and use these cycles to move your business forward and to be really intentional. And how do we do that? Number one, we stay out of the fear. We know that this cycle has gifts and information to educate and support us with. And we dive in and look at number two, where is it happening? What zodiac sign is the lens from which we want to be viewing? What is Mercury coming around to help us look at? And then number three, make a plan. What is the thing you want to focus on right now that you can utilize this energy for to move your business forward? If you do not have Mercury natally retrograde, remember that it is review time. You may not be quite ready to move it into action until Mercury goes direct in, will be 3.5, almost 4 weeks in September when it goes direct. And I'll put those dates down below for this particular cycle. But when it goes direct, now you'll have a plan and you'll be ready to go. So let me know. What do you think? What would you like to be focused on during this cycle? What is your roadmap? In the AstroBiz Lab in my membership, we break this down really specifically. I've got a 5-step process where we really look at where you want to get clear, what you want to optimize, and all of those things. But you can just pick that one thing that's going to move the meter in your business. So, all right, my friends, I am wishing you a beautiful rest of the week. Lean into this Leo energy that we're still in August. Tune into what your heart has to say. Tune into that creative energy. That's going to help you guide you to what you want to be looking at when Mercury goes retrograde next week. Those themes are already appearing. You should be feeling it because of the pre-shadow. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here and remind you that you've got a beautiful guidance system up there in the stars. So keep your eyes there and tune into that beautiful heart of yours and take that business of yours to the next level so you can reach those amazing soul clients that you are meant to be working with. And I will see you next time.